Was this the bottom of the Ethereum crash? Was $1,000 the bottom over here? Of course, nobody has the exact answer to this, but we can look at different models. We can look at different data points and draw out scenarios of how low Ethereum might potentially fall, or if you're just going to turn around from here. So let's start off with the worst case scenario. Let's look at Ethereum over the very long term, right? We start off here in 2015, a very long-term chart, and we look at how did Ethereum react in the last crypto winter? How long did it go down from top to bottom? And what we can do, this is a pretty simple exercise. We can simply overlay the 2018 crash, the crypto winter crash, with today's price action. So we simply take this top over here, this bottom over here, and we overlay this price action that we have seen over here. We just overlay this to today. And this is a pretty scary thought, because what's the bottom here if something like 2018 was to repeat again? We might go down below $300 per Ethereum. Now, will this happen? Nobody knows, right? The main question in the end is, will the merge be a success? Will it be executed properly? Will the supply contract accordingly and then improve the tokenomics of Ethereum sufficiently if people just simply get really risk averse during a crypto winter? This is the worst case we could see. Now, Ethereum is way more developed nowadays than it was back in the days, right, during the winter. So one might argue because the market cap now is way larger, the overall ecosystem is way better developed, that something like this might not repeat itself. But this is simply just one scenario among many, and I think I simply start off this video with the worst case. $300 per Ethereum seems to be the worst case if history was to repeat itself again. Now, why did the price actually fall that much? So let's actually look at the detailed action here, right? Let's look at within the week, we are looking at a drop of 94% roughly. Why did we fall that much in Ethereum? And it's because not only did crypto in general go down, but Ethereum also lost relative market share. So when we look at Bitcoin relative to Ethereum, right, and we look at what happened to Ethereum's relative valuation in 2018, this is not pretty, right? We've seen a relative valuation drop of 75%. And this came on top of how much crypto in general already contracted, right? Bitcoin itself in 2018, it went down by 84%. And on top of that, Ethereum even underperformed Bitcoin. So the inherent leverage of Ethereum, the riskiness of Ethereum relative to Bitcoin is what pretty much created this entire destruction of capital had you invested at the top in 2018. Now, another way to look at this, instead of looking at Ethereum relative to Bitcoin, we can look at the Ethereum dominance. Now, what is that, right? The Ethereum dominance is how much market cap is locked up in Ethereum relative to the entire cryptocurrency market capitalization. So we're looking at how important is Ethereum as a fraction of all of crypto capital-wise. And what we see here, again, in 2018, Ethereum was 23% of all of cryptocurrency's market cap. And during the winter, it went down to first 9%, then we had a little revival, and then a low point here at 7.5%. So 7.5% of all of crypto was Ethereum. Nowadays, we are looking at 15.7%. And of course, this low over here, right, in the Ethereum dominance, it coincides with a high in Bitcoin dominance. So this is September of 2019. The Bitcoin dominance was pretty high. It was above 70%. So a lot of crypto was simply just Bitcoin and very little of crypto was Ethereum. Now the question is, what is the long-term sustainable equilibrium here around Ethereum versus Bitcoin? Are we more likely to hover around 10% of all of crypto being Ethereum and maybe 50-60% of all of crypto being Bitcoin? Or do we rather think that technology and further adoption of smart contracts might in the end create a long-term upward trend for Ethereum or other layer ones, right? It's very unlikely that Bitcoin will be close to 90% of all of cryptocurrency's market cap. It's very likely that over the very long term, Bitcoin as a fraction of all of crypto is declining. But still, we see those massive risk on, risk off volatility, right? Currently, with 45.5%, Bitcoin is not necessarily that high in dominance. It's actually quite a bit of a surprise to most people. How is it possible that Bitcoin is crashing that much, that it went down by 66% roughly? So again, a risk off environment. How is it possible that Bitcoin isn't increasing more in dominance? One reason for that is that total 3 in general is increasing. So total 3 is cryptocurrency's market cap minus Bitcoin's market cap and minus Ethereum's market cap. So total 3 measures the altcoin market cap, so to speak. And when we look at Ethereum relative to total 3, so this is the Ethereum market cap divided by the altcoin market cap, we can see Ethereum becomes less important with the recent crash. So the altcoins, they relatively held up quite nicely. One might expect that the altcoins, they actually are more reactive to crashes, right? When everything is going down, why are the altcoins this time not going down further? That's quite a surprise, right? Because Ethereum is going down further than Bitcoin. So when we look at this, right, what is the long-term reasonable equilibrium over here? Currently, we are at roughly 0.4. So Ethereum's market cap is around 40% of the altcoin market cap. So with the altcoin market cap not excluding Ethereum. Maybe that's long-term somewhat reasonable, right? Because Ethereum does have quite a bit of competition. There's a lot of layer 1 competitors with lower gas fees. And over time, Ethereum is losing market share. We can actually see this here on DeFi Llama. So over here, we see the total value locked split up by smart contract platform, and with the Terra Luna collapse, the market cap or the market dominance, relatively speaking, to other layer 1 competitors for Ethereum went up, but over the long term, right? So this is starting in August of 2020. The green area is Ethereum. Over the long term, other smart contract platforms are taking away market share from Ethereum. Currently, we are looking at 65% roughly of all total value locked being in the Ethereum blockchain. Now, there's something interesting happening relative to the highest price in 2017, 2018, right? We had the rally over here and Bitcoin peaked at roughly 20K. We are now flirting with that price, but we haven't yet fallen below that for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, that's different. So Ethereum saw its 2018 peak at around 1,400, and we have already fallen below that. So to a certain degree, we can see people are getting risk off and they're selling off Ethereum more than Bitcoin. Will this turn around? Well, obviously it depends on the overall crypto market. There are different indicators that say we are already relatively low. One of those indicators being the long-term logarithmic regression for Bitcoin. So this is one of those regressions, the Bitcoin rainbow price chart, to be found at blockchaincenter.net. And in here, we are now at the lowest band. So we are in the basically a fire sale band. This would indicate that the potential downside to the potential upside, the risk to reward over the long term isn't that bad for Bitcoin, meaning this could also help Ethereum's valuation. So maybe we are actually not going to live through a similar kind of crazy depression that we've seen in 2018, right? This would be another drop if we re-arrive 2018 of 75%, more than 75%. But the rainbow chart for Bitcoin would not suggest that something like this happens again. Different models come to different conclusions, of course. Now I asked the community, what are you actually thinking is going to be the better investment in like 2 or 3 years? So I've asked this over here, a poll, we got 90 votes so far. Most people are more bullish on Bitcoin than Ethereum long term. There is quite a bit of risk with the merge in Ethereum. If this plays out nicely, Ethereum could outperform. But so far, it does look like in this kind of risk-off environment that people prefer Bitcoin. I also prefer Bitcoin. I simply like that Bitcoin doesn't have that much perceived competition. And if I invest a lot of money into something, I rather want to either spread the risk, as in buy all those promising competitors, or alternatively simply just buy the one asset with low competition, meaning the risk versus reward, I think personally is probably better for Ethereum. That being said, Ethereum, of course, did so far outperform Bitcoin over the years, but there was quite a bit of volatility. So the question is the additional performance for Ethereum really worth the additional risk? That's of course an individual decision in the end. Now I publish daily market updates around Bitcoin, Ethereum, various altcoins. And I do this for the premium members at thebitcoinstrategy.com. There's also quite a bit of exclusive content over here. A course dedicated to technical analysis, various tutorials around DeFi, etc. So if you're interested in that, or if you want to reach me directly via Telegram, feel free to check that out. It's currently $49 per month. More information is in this video over here. Hope to see you in that video, and thanks for watching this one. Bye-bye.